Deputy Michael McCarthy for 3 minutes.
Deputy, let me know what I have a minute, okay? Corla, I welcome the opportunity to contribute to this evening's debate, and there are a number of points that I wish to make. Everybody acknowledges, I think, universally, the absolutely outstanding role that agriculture and the agri-food sector, and indeed marine, is playing in terms of the economic recovery. The economic recovery that is so badly needed for our country. And there isn't any part of this country who have been affected by the blight of unemployment, and creating sustainable jobs in the agri-food industry, and all of that rotating around a very fine and a very functioning agrarian background in this country is of critical importance to the economic recovery. And creating sustainable jobs in rural Ireland is contributing to the recovery of the economy, and in particular to the social economy. One of the points that I think is worth mentioning, because it would be one of the issues that's put to us every time we meet the IFA, and I want to acknowledge the very fine protest that they had today, mindful of people who are living in and around the capital. The IFA is a fine organisation who conduct, I think, a very honourable service to their members, but are very good in terms of communicating with the decision makers and policy makers, people who are key to the success of their members. And they would say to you on often occasions, like, credit is a significant issue. I think we have to remind ourselves of a number of developments this year in terms of the Agri-Farm Investment Scheme, fund from Bank of Ireland, and the Agri-Food Fund from the Irish Bank, one in terms of €200 million, the other in terms of 250. I think that's absolutely critical, because one of the many criticisms of the economy, the freeing up of credit, the lack of credit, and people trying to run businesses without that bedrock of funding available to them. That's a significant issue, and that didn't happen by a coincidence. We have in Minister Coveney a reforming Minister for Agriculture who has driven this issue at his top priority at cabinet level. Also, the many reforms, the many developments that are happening in relation to marine are worthy of acknowledgement. And I would have to say that the motion from Fianna Fáil tonight would have to rank as the most brazen piece of political hypocrisy witnessed in this country for a hell of a long time.
1 minute,
They've come in here with fairy tale economics, expecting expansion of this and expansion of that. It is a bit hard to take last John Corla, to be honest. And I want to remind Minister O'Keefe, in the dying days of the last administration, when the Greens were jumping up and down, and you were silent, you couldn't find your tongue then, he voted to abolish installation aid and the early retirement scheme. But that had a huge negative impact on farming families throughout the economy. And this from a government who had created a property bubble that drew fine young enterprising farmers off the land and out into a property bubble to participate in the construction economy. It was absolutely shameful, shameful. We also had the 50 million announced in those dying days for the AOS scheme. It was monopoly money. It was difficult to know where it was because it just didn't exist. So to take those kind of lectures in decision making in terms of funding and schemes, so on and so forth, in the Department of Agriculture is laughable, to say the least. And I would have to commend the calibre of clown that led the debate this evening. Thank you.